Howdy folks, I'm Dazzling Decorations, delightfully decorating drab domiciles.
I'm Amber.
And here are more drab domiciles for us to decorate brightly, glowingly, and Redditly. Let's get started. Alright folks, and our first letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Refusing to Return a Wedding Gift After the Bride Called Me Out? Throwaway account because some of the wedding party are active on Reddit. So I'm a 32-year-old female and my childhood friend Emma, a 32-year-old female, recently got married. I was super excited for her and spent a lot of time picking out the perfect wedding gift. I got her and her husband a custom-made set of engraved wine glasses and a really nice bottle of wine from a vineyard that we visited together a few years ago. Altogether, the gift cost was around $250, which I felt was generous but appropriate for our friendship. The wedding was beautiful, but during the reception, Emma and I had a weird interaction. She asked me to dance, and while we were on the dance floor, she said something along the lines of, I've noticed that you haven't been very supportive during my engagement. You've barely helped with the planning, and I felt like you weren't as enthusiastic about me getting married as some of our other friends. I was honestly stunned. I had attended her engagement party, I had bought her a pricey bridal shower gift, and I helped her pick out bridesmaids' dresses, even though I wasn't a bridesmaid myself. I calmly told her that I thought that I had been supportive and that I was sorry if she felt otherwise. She kind of brushed it off and kept dancing. Well, fast forward to the other day after the wedding, and I get a text from Emma thanking me for the gift, but saying that she wished that I had given them cash instead. She explained that they're saving for a house and don't have much use for unnecessary luxuries. I was kind of annoyed, but I decided just to let it go. Then, about a week later, I get another message. This time, Emma was directly asking me if I could return the wine glasses and the bottle of wine and instead send them $250 in cash. I told her that I didn't feel comfortable doing that since the gift was personalized and it couldn't really be returned. She got upset and said that I was being selfish and that a real friend would want to contribute to her future, not just give her a gift for the sake of appearances. Now, Emma has told some mutual friends about the situation, and a few of them are siding with her, saying that I should have just asked what they needed instead of buying a gift that I thought was cute. I feel like I followed normal wedding etiquette, but I'm starting to wonder if I am really being selfish by refusing to give her the cash that she asked for. So, Reddit, am I the jerk? Alright, folks, what do you think?
Not the jerk. Wedding gifts are like a nice thing, but they are not an obligation. And it doesn't seem like OP did this in mean spirits. It wasn't a gift that was like meant to poke at insecurities or anything like that. Like there could be bad wedding gifts that you would be the jerk for giving, but it seems like OP thought this was something that had, a special memory between them, thought it was a nice nod to them.
Yeah. Oh, guess what? Emma's really actually a recovering alcoholic, and OP got this for them.
Well, like if that was the case, yeah, OP would 100% be in the wrong there.
Yeah. No. I mean, of course, like, I think that it's tacky to ask for cash. I do know that there are wedding registries and stuff like that, and generally, like if the bride and groom put something together for a wedding registry, then you should generally follow that just so that you can get them something that they like or want.
Right. Well, and some people will have honeymoon funds or something like that, or a house fund maybe. So if the bride had specifically had that, the best course of action would be just to donate to the fund, whatever you feel comfortable with.
Yeah. But it feels like OP was trying to do something very personal and nice for them. $250 is nothing to turn your nose up at, right?
No, it's not.
Like these were wedding gifts that she thought that they were going to enjoy and get some use out of on the honeymoon probably too, right? Like personalized wine glasses and the wine. So I think that Emma is just being entitled here.
Right. Like it's not a gift that I would have any use for, but I wouldn't like chastise someone. And so like I could understand if the Emma felt a little disappointed because it's not something that's, that useful. But at the same time, like a gift is a gift. And as long as it's not given with the intent to hurt, it's really something that you just kind of accept and move on.
Yeah. Oh, and one last thing I kind of want to talk about here. What do you think about OP not being a bridesmaid, but not being supportive enough of the bride and her wedding, or doing the bridesmaids' activities, essentially.
Yeah, it makes me wonder if what the friend even means here. Like, did OP not spend enough money? Like, maybe OP didn't contribute to like the stuff because she wasn't a
Yeah,
bridesmaid, and
yeah.
the friend was like expecting her to give more cash.
The thing is this: if you want someone to be a bridesmaid and to contribute and plan the wedding, then you need to make them a bridesmaid. You can't just expect them to bridesmaid themselves into your wedding, right?
Right. Like, she even asked OP to help her pick out bridesmaids' dresses, and
Yeah.
OP helped her with that when OP wasn't a bridesmaid.
Yeah, I think that OP went above and beyond, given that they weren't actually like part of the
Mm-hmm.
wedding party.
Like, people aren't mind readers. If you have specific things you want from them, you need to ask for them.
Yeah. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And TreeHumper83 says, not the jerk. You pay $250 to find out that your friend really isn't your friend. I am sorry for your loss. And OP replies, it hurts, but a lesson well learned, I think. And that's it. It's like, I don't think that this is like, OP thought that they were close friends with them, but they weren't part of the bridal party. They were close enough that they thought getting them $250 worth of gifts would be a generous and appropriate thing, but then they get complained at for not giving them cash. I really just feel like this friend is only keeping OP around because OP has some level of money.
Mm-hmm.
And Chi Supreme 1743 says, Emma is an entitled little jerk. Take the gift back and give her absolutely nothing. Block her number and never talk to her again. You don't need selfish friends like that in your life. Not the jerk. And OP replies, I think it's time to set up some boundaries and seriously reconsider whether this friendship is worth holding on to. Thank you for the support. I really appreciate it. Wouldn't that be kind of a funny gift if OP was like, oh yeah, give it back and I'll exchange it, and then OP just blocks them and never gives them the time of day again. And Grinch Eye says, not the jerk, but Emma is not your friend and clearly only wanted you around because you have money. She's not a good person. And OP replies, ouch, but honestly, you might have a point. It's hard to hear, but her actions really do make it feel like our friendship isn't really what I thought it was. The fact that she reduced all of my efforts and gestures to not enough, and then basically treated me like a bank account is so disheartening. All right, folks, and our next letter is titled, My sister stole my late wife's wedding ring and gave it to her daughter. Okay, so here's the deal. I'm a 38-year-old male, and my wife, Emily, passed away 4 years ago from cancer. It was the hardest thing that I ever went through, and honestly, I'm still not over it. We were together for 15 years, and she was my everything. When she passed, I kept her wedding ring in a little jewelry box on my dresser. It's a very sentimental item to me. Fast forward to now, my sister Claire, a 41-year-old female, has a 17-year-old daughter, Maddie, who just got engaged. Yeah, 17. I told Claire that I thought that it was ridiculous for Maddie to get married so young, but that's not the main issue. A few weeks ago, I noticed that Emily's ring was gone. I freaked out and I searched everywhere, thinking that I misplaced it, but deep down, I knew that wasn't the case. I didn't want to accuse anyone without any proof, but I had a feeling. Then, at Maddie's engagement party last weekend, guess what? She's wearing Emily's ring. I confronted Claire in private and asked her why Maddie had it. She tried to brush me off, saying that Maddie fell in love with it when she saw it once. And Claire thought that I would want it to go to family since I wasn't using it anymore. Are you kidding me? I lost it. I told her to get the ring back immediately or I was calling the cops. Claire flipped out, saying that I was being selfish and ruining Maddie's big moment. I don't care. That ring was my late wife's and it means everything to me. Now the whole family is involved. Some people are on my side saying that Claire was way out of line, but others think that I'm overreacting because it's just a ring, and Maddie's a kid who doesn't know better. Maddie's crying, Claire's calling me a monster, and my parents are bugging me just to let it go for the sake of peace, but I can't. It's not about the ring being valuable, it's about what it represents. I told Claire that I'm giving her 1 week to return the ring or I'm filing a police report. Now everyone is calling me dramatic and threatening to cut me off if I go through with it. I feel like I'm going crazy. So Reddit, am I the jerk? All right, folks, what do you think?
Not the jerk. Your sister stole from you. But I would recommend filing the police report ASAP before they can do something. Because there are a number of things that could go badly here and you may never see that ring again.
Yeah, I think that that's really the key here is just say, give it back now. I don't know why OP didn't just snatch it back at the party. Be like, no, you're not taking this ring. This is my ring. Thanks for
Yeah.
playing.
Well, Opie was
Bye.
trying not to cause a scene, but like sometimes a scene needs to be caused.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, this was such a cruel, heartless thing to do to
Mm-hmm.
OP. They took something that means so much to OP, a symbol that means so much to OP, and then they stole it from them and tried to play it off like it's no big deal,
Right,
right?
like if OP's mom wants OP to like let go and calm things over, why doesn't the mom give her engagement ring over to them to use? Any of these relatives, they can pitch in money, they can give their own rings, but OP's ring is wife's deceased wife's ring is his property, and he deserves to have that memento back.
Oh, of course. And if they really fell in love with this ring, then maybe the family should have pitched in together and got her a duplicate or something like that, right? I'm sure OP would have been fine with them copying the ring or something like that.
Right, but it's not even a case of she fell in love with it. It's a case of they don't have the money for a ring this expensive, and they want the flashy ring.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it feels like here. It feels like they're trying to just rob OP. You're not using it anymore. You don't need it. Just get over this, right? Which is such a cruel thing to tell somebody.
It is, it is. And again, everyone who is siding with them, like they are not good people if they think outright stealing from you is okay. And the 17-year-old is old enough to understand that her mom stole this ring. It is theft. It needs to be returned. It doesn't matter how much she likes the idea of this ring. It is not hers.
Yeah. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And 17 Super Mario says, the longer you wait, it could disappear. Get her ring back. File the report. And OP replies, you're absolutely right. I'm not waiting any longer. I'll take action to get the ring back and make sure everything is handled properly. Thank you for the advice. Well, I'm glad OP is going for it. And otherwise prior, 9308 says, get the ring back and ban your sister from your house. And OP replies, thank you for the support. I definitely plan on getting the ring back as soon as possible. I hope OP changes locks and all these other things. I don't know how they managed to steal from OP here.
Well, the thing is, like, it sounds like it's on his dresser in his bedroom. Why is his sister going into his bedroom? Like, that's obviously a place that's not like publicly accessible. Not that she should steal it from anywhere, but like she had to go into a very private part of the house to get this.
Yeah. And Harris XJ says, dude, you're a good man. I wouldn't have left without that ring in my hand. And OP replies, thank you, I appreciate that. I try to handle things calmly, but I totally get what you mean. Sometimes it's hard to keep your cool in situations like this. Alright folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a jerk for refusing to let my sister, a 23-year-old female, stay with me after she ruined my engagement party? So I'm a 20-year-old female and I got engaged to my boyfriend, a 24-year-old male, last month. And this weekend we had a little engagement party at my parents' house. It was supposed to be super chill, just close friends and family, nothing ridiculous. My sister Emily was there, and for the context, she's been going through a rough breakup lately. I get that she's upset, but she's been making everything about her lately. Anyways, during the party, my fiance and I were making a toast. As I'm literally in the middle of thanking everyone for coming, Emily interrupts me to announce that she has some news. Everyone stops and looks at her, and she just goes, I'm pregnant. The room is dead silent because, first of all, she's not dating anyone right now, and second, she said last week that she didn't want any kids. My mom immediately starts crying. Happy tears, I think, while I'm standing there like, seriously. After the party, she admitted that she made it up because she felt left out and wanted some attention. I was furious and I told her that she needed to leave because this was my moment and she ruined it. Now she's begging to stay with me because she doesn't want to go back to our parents' house, but I told her no. She's calling me heartless, and even my mom says that I should be the bigger person because Emily is struggling. But like, how is it my problem? She decided to fake a pregnancy at my engagement party. Am I the jerk? All right, folks, what do you think?
No, not the jerk. I mean, your sister, Opie's sister, is old enough to know that the world doesn't revolve around her and not every event is going to revolve around her. Going through a breakup does not excuse this kind of bad behavior. If she couldn't be at an engagement party and just be happy for the couple, she shouldn't have shown up in the first place.
So I have a little bit of a theory on why the parents are telling OP to be the bigger person. Is because they don't want the sister to move back in home. And they don't want her to move back home because she's like this. And they don't want to deal with this, right? So I think that this is a matter of like self-preservation on their part, being like, you need to be the bigger person. No, 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 just let your sister stay here for a little while longer. I think that they're being selfish. I think that they are not really seeing this in the proper light, and that they're just trying to get OP to do this because they don't want to deal with her.
Right. Well, I mean, they're not obligated to take the sister back either. I know they probably feel obligated because they're her parents, and that might be a kind thing to do. But, they can't just foist her on OP. This is not OP's problem, not OP's responsibility.
Yeah, and to show such ingratitude for everything that OP's done for her, she was feeling left out, so she faked a pregnancy to ruin OP's engagement party.
Right. She had to upstage OP.
Yeah.
And, that is not something like, I don't know how, it sounds like it was low key, but like OP never gets to redo this moment. Like the sister can't compensate her, even if she gave her some kind of financial compensation. Like there's no way to fix this, no way to give OP that engagement party back.
Yeah. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Katz is best says, not the jerk. Even if she hadn't ruined your engagement party, you have no obligation to let her stay with you. And OP replies, literally. And KM Flushing says, kick her out, ungrateful brat. Action meet consequences. And Mark Brev says, not the jerk. Why does the wronged party always have to be the bigger person? No. Send her back to your mom's. And Toots NYC says, because everyone knows the wronging party would never do the right thing, or it would take too much work.
Well, that's an important point, and I think something that we really need to work toward in society, because so often the people who are being loud and abusive and hurtful are the one. It's like, oh, just ignore them, be the bigger person, when we should be saying, hey, you're not allowed to do this. You're not going to be invited to events until you stop being a jerk.
You can be the bigger person and still call people out for being bad people.
Right. A bigger person has become synonymous with being a pushover.
Yeah, letting people walk all over you. And the thing is this, you are allowed to set boundaries, and that doesn't make you mean, that doesn't make you a bully. That means that you are being a reasonable individual with boundaries. And it's all right to say no to people. Like if the sister is acting this way, it isn't mean to kick her out of the house. She is suffering the consequences of her actions. OP isn't being the bigger or smaller person here. She's saying, if you're going to do these kinds of things, then there are going to be consequences for doing these kinds of things.
Right. And like it may be uncomfortable to some people to have to actually stand up, but it's an important thing, and it's going to make everything better for everyone, so you don't have to tiptoe around someone who's being a jerk.
Yeah. All right, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here, and Amber, she has a joke, allegedly.
I went to Legoland last summer. People were lined up for blocks.
I'm sure they were. I'm sure they were. That wasn't too bad. I mean, that was okay. I mean, that was an okay joke. And I have some Earl Grey. All right, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Fantastic Friday, folks. I hope your Friday is off to a fantastic start. Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and or guidance. And please, have it as though you're writing a police report.
Ring was apprehended from the suspect on blah, blah, blah date. If you want an expensive ring, then you should wait to get engaged until you can afford one.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the moral here is if you want an expensive ring, wait till you can afford one.
Yeah, I was trying to fit into the police report thing, and it didn't really work. I don't know what
that works. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye.